Hey, it's Marlon Smith here. So excited to have you here. Another The Real Money Coach. You know what? Listen, I'm so excited. Go ahead and type in the chat box where you're watching from. You know, as I was listening to that music, I mean, we are so innovative, right? I mean, anything we do, man, we do with excellence. And I'm just really want to give a shout out to my oh man, what do I call this bro? I call him the voice, okay? Because usually all you hear is his voice, right? And that is Chris Jackson. And he is phenomenal, you know, and just always really does things with excellence. And so I just want to give a special shout out because we're talking about excellence tonight. You know, we have a very special brother, man. He and I, man, we used to chat it up all the time. And, you know, he was my barber. And, you know, I think I just, you know, maybe, you know, spoke too much. He was like, yo, I got to get out of here. You know, then he opened up a franchise down in Atlanta and South Carolina and just doing his thing. But you'll see in a second. But I'm just really grateful because, you know, when you're around individuals that are stepping it up, what happens is you step up your game, right? And so look at this. We got people in Texas. We got people in Detroit. Come on. Who else is here? That's what I'm talking about. Las Vegas in the house. What? Hey, it's really great. Go ahead and type in the chat box where you're watching from. We're going to see which state rocks the house, okay? Because what I want you to know is you're in the right place at the right time. And again, the man I'm going to be bringing up is phenomenal. Tony and I both really enjoy him and his brother. He's a twin. And, you know, we're going to break it down. And I think I saw Mary Nicole Douglas. What? Hey, Mary Nicole. She is no joke. You know, we've had her on the show a couple times. I mean, she does things with excellence. And so again, tonight, I really want to talk about excellence, right? Whatever you do it to the best of your ability. You know, because when you think about it here, check this out. What type of medal do you get first place at the Olympics? Gold. What type of medal do you get second place? Silver. What type of medal do you get third place? Bronze. What type of medal do you get fourth place? Nothing. The fourth strongest, fastest person in the world gets no recognition. It almost doesn't seem fair. Are you with me? And so again, sometimes it's just that, you know, that dedication. We did a program earlier today, and one of the things that, you know, these successful individuals are talking about is do what you say and say what you do, meaning follow through, right? Follow through. And so again, let me bring up Tony because I'm excited. You know, I'm bubbling with excitement, with joy. So Tony, how are you doing, brother?
Marlon, I am excellent. I'm excellent, bro. How you doing? I see you excited, man.
I am.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you something, man. I moved to Charlotte. Like almost 7 years ago, right?
Okay.
And you know, man, my barber back in Jackson, Michigan. I'm gonna give a shout out to Tony Coppage, right? I'm gonna give it to TC. Man, my barber, I was just searching for a barber, man, that could do it like Tony Coppage, man. I had a hard time finding one, but I found this place called No Grease. Man, they got me hooked, man. It's the first time in 7 years, man. I've been like, man, this is it, man.
Yeah.
You know what I love about it is this, Marlon. When I walk into No Grease, man, it's like you remember that show Cheers, and they walk in, hey, you know, that's what it's like. It's like family, man. And so I love going to No Grease, man. I get love from all the barbers, the guys, the receptionists, everybody, man. So it's but here's the thing, Marlon, that comes from the top down, right?
That's right.
That's right. The top down. So when you talk about excellence, that's what it made me think about, is how it makes me feel when I walk into a No Grease barbershop.
Oh yeah, man. And you know, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And one thing, you know, we kind of, you know, for those of you, you know, you heard No Grease, is Damien and Jermaine, right? And then they also have a third partner, right, Tony? And
right. You got Charlie,
Charlie,
absolutely.
Right? And so, you know, it's just this 3-man partnership, but the community that they've created. And, you know, I guess it was 2019, because of the community, you know, I actually had my mom and we went out to the No Grease community, you know, cookout, and it was just so much fun, you know, and, you know, everybody, you know, just really welcomed my mom. You know, I remember Damien's wife really took to my mom, and they had a great conversation, and, you know, it was just a family affair. And so,
Yeah.
what I really want you to understand is that it's about doing things with excellence and a standard. And so we're going to break that down because this brother is, you talk about innovation, right? Jermaine, Charlie, and Damien, you talk about really pushing the envelope. But really, what I love about it, Tony, is the systems. And so we're going to break it down because, listen, the Real Money Coach, it's all about taking it to the next level. And that's why every week we bring you individuals who are on top of their A game. And, Tony said, man, he gets the fresh cut. But even beyond the cut, it's how you feel. So type in the chat box. What do you think? What you can write the adjectives. What does it take for you to be a loyal client or customer of somebody? What does a business have to do to make you feel like, hey, I'm not leaving? Type it in the chat box. I'd like to see, what words come up for you to say, yo, that's my company, that's my business, that's my person. What do they do different where that you're going to be a raving fan, that you're going to be somebody who's a loyal client, right? And as Tony said, wow, 7 years ago, we came from Michigan and, it was like, man, I got my barber back in Michigan. But once you went into no grease, it was like, oh, where have you been, right? And so that's good, man.
Man, it's just awesome. They're awesome. The business model is awesome. And really what sparked this for this month, right? Because Damien was on before when we were doing our entrepreneur mindset series. And what really sparked it for me, man, is when I went to, and he's going to talk about it, when I went to the South Park location, right? South Park location, South Park Mall here in Charlotte. And then when I found out that they were the first African-American owned business inside of that mall. And then, it's called Knights of the Razor, no grease. And then when I found out exactly what that meant and the meaning behind it, which I'm not gonna give away, we want Damon to come in and talk about it. I was just blown away, is that we have to do that because I started thinking about the history of the barbershop in our community, right? I remember as a kid going to the barbershop, man. I remember going to the barbershop with my dad. I remember Muskegon, Michigan, he had a guy at a barbershop. His name was Cowboy. Cowboy cut my hair, man. And so I remember, man, it's such a staple in our community. The barbershop, the beauty shop, the church are staples in our community. And when we see an example like No Grease and how they're expanding, even in the midst of the pandemic, and you see they got these other locations that they're opening. And again, Damien's going to break all that down for us, man. But I'm just excited. I'm happy for them. And man, it's encouraging, man. And so, again, we got people all over, man. We got people from Las Vegas just talking about, the importance of the barbershop, feeling like a great customer and all that. We got Dr. Bonita Harris on tonight. We got Chad Lawson from Ohio on. Mary Douglas is on. Man, so many people. Adele Ryan is on. People from Detroit, Texas. Thank you all for being here tonight. It's pretty exciting. But we do want to do it. We want you to start a watch party. We want you to share this on your Facebook. If you're on Facebook, make sure that you share this so that the word will get out, because we're celebrating something great tonight, right? Something great. And so that's what it's all about, man.
Well, man, let's go ahead and bring the brother up because, this brother, like I said, I used to sit in his chair all the time and we chop it up, man. We used to have some great conversations. And so, this is called Barbershop and Black History with our special guest, Damien Johnson. What's up, D?
What up?
Hey.
That's right.
I had to put my no grease mask on, man. They won't even let me come in the barbershop without my mask, right? So I gotta put my no grease mask on, man. I had a mask on, man, a blue mask. They said, you can't wear that in here. You can't wear that mask. Man, you gotta put this on, man. I got my no grease mask on today, all right?
I love it, man. Man, you see, and look, Damien, when I asked the question, people said, I said, what does it take? And people said, excellent customer service. I mean, look, Tony is walking around with your mask, okay? You know what I'm saying? I mean, not exactly yours, but no grease mask, okay? Let me get that straight, all right? But also I saw, here's another one, professional, great customer service. And then Dr. Benita Harris said, great customer service and professionalism, right? Ruth said, when they show appreciation. So, man, I mean, this. I mean, I've been in many of your shops like Tony, and it's like it's like people have really, I don't know if you even say like it's part of them. You with me? And I mean, really, man, I mean, y'all are doing it. So talk to us. I mean, because you take young brothers and sisters, and Charlie, y'all got a barber school. So you're getting young people. I remember when Tony and I went down to Atlanta, we stopped off, at your Atlanta location. And I remember I called you. I said, yo, man, Damien, who should I, and you're like, it was a young brother. I mean, I think he was like 19, 20, so professional. So what are you doing, man? What are y'all doing? I mean, is it the no grease Kool-Aid? Talk to me, man.
There's some of that too. Some of that Kool-Aid is in there. But we got into business understanding that we were servants, man. It's a service business. We always take that position that we're actually serving, we're serving people, we're serving clients, man, and we know that. And so before barbers get the big head, start thinking about how good they cut hair, ultimately you're a servant. And so we always try to stay in the service position of just serving our clients, let them know that it's about them, it's about their needs, it's about their experience. And so we're constantly just reiterating that to our barbers, that it's always about the client. Never get caught up on how good you cut or you're booked up and a bunch of people are waiting on you. No, it's about you. I mean, it's about the client. It's always about the client. So that's one of the basic things that we've always preached to our barbers and trained them to understand, that it's service first.
And that's awesome. Man, this is what really, man, got me, because you got the no grease school, right? You got the no grease barber school. I started hearing other barbers giving away tuition to their school. I was like, man, you're doing something right when you turn on the radio. And I heard the no grease, advertisement, radio, and all that. But one day I heard another barbershop advertising to give away a free tuition to go to no grease barbershop. And I was thinking to myself, now that's when you know that you're putting out a good product, when your competition, if there's when your competition is sending their barbers to be trained by you. Man,
about
how does that make you feel?
It's really about collaborating with people, man. It's we need to work together. I mean, it's more than enough business for everybody. And if someone else has mastered a certain level in the business, we should support them. I mean, we should get behind those that may have taken it a little further than us. So, other barbershops, and fortunate for us, we trained quite a few barber owners in Charlotte. So, they know where they got their training from. So if they're looking for, good barbers and good service providers, come back home.
Wow, that's powerful, man. And Damien, I know that, man, you and Jermaine, I remember when we had the event, Uptown, talking about entrepreneurship. I also, came out when you had the event at the museum, and you had the, that author, talk about. I want you to, because we're talking about history, man. And let me just be real straight. I know this is live TV. But, man, I just watched, it's been some months, but man, my mind has shifted. I want everyone to really think about watching 13th, that's on the Netflix, right? I mean, man, that thing, Damien, that thing, Tony, that was no joke. And then I just watched a documentary, another one called Crack, talking about crack cocaine, okay? And then now I'm watching something called Amend. And that's with Will Smith, man. It's a 6-part series, man. And so, the history, I got to tell y'all, for us just to be here, I mean, come on, man. 1863 was not long ago. And, where, we saw what happened January 6th, right? We saw the murder of George Floyd, Okay. And, I mean, man, there's another thing that just went down with some other police officers, shooting a brother, allegedly jaywalking. What? So, what I'm saying, man, talk to me about the history, Damien. Why, you talk about service, but also, as Tony was saying with South Park and the name that you guys have chosen, for that, give us the history, man. Yeah, bring us in, man.
The history, man, it's so important, because when you know history, you could start to see things so much clearer in your present, and then you can start to see your future a lot. And so, just because we're talking about barbering a little bit, historically, when people understand that the barbering industry was controlled by black slaves for almost 100 years, like, we were 80-90% of all servants when it came to barbering and hair care altogether. So from the 1800s well into, the 1900s. So you talking about the antebellum time. We were the service providers for white men and women getting their hair done. And so we serviced them all through slavery. We bought our freedom with the money and the service that we were providing as barbers. And so we bought our freedom. So it was a book that we read. It's called Knights of the Razor, Black Barbers in Slavery and Freedom. It's written by a professor out of Mississippi by the name of Dr. Bristol, a white gentleman. He's a African-American historian at Mississippi University. So when we read that book, we saw our story. We saw ourselves in this book of history. It was documented history about what these barbers were doing in a time when they should not, they were getting lynched for just the color of their skin. But these men had started this group called Knights of the Razor. And it was almost like a fraternal bond between barbers. And they were building these huge, at the time, barbershops. I'm talking about they were in hotels at the time, and I'm talking about the 1800s. It was in some of the most classiest places. It's called a classic barbershop. This is documented history. You can look this stuff up. And some of our first millionaires were barbers. So when we started seeing this whole thing happen right before our eyes, we was like, yo, that's us. We were seeing history, and we were seeing us playing a part in it in our present. And so the opportunities that presented itself for us as businessmen and as barbers was already written for us. We didn't even have to recreate the wheel. It was already there. It was something that we had always done. So understanding that history helped us with our present, and it's taking us into our future.
Woo. Wow. And that's the lesson I got, man, when I went to the South Park location the first time, and I saw the book sitting there, and it was Knights of Razor. And when the shop first opened and I saw it on social media, I was like, man, I wonder why they went with Knights of Razor by no grease rather than what I was used to seeing is just no grease. And then when I learned that history about it, it just made all the sense in the world. And I was like, man, this is something that we want to be a part of. We want to get this word out to the people who are watching us all over the country about what you guys are doing, really making history right now. I mean, currently just making history.
So, hey, Tony, let me add to this, because when we did the name, right, even though we had that name in our back pocket, we was going to use Knights of the Razor a little later on. I hope you guys can still, am I still, okay, good. We was going to do that later on. But when we started to court South Park Mall, something interesting happened, because we're in other malls. But for whatever reason, South Park wanted us to, lack of better words, they wanted us to change our name. And we, instead of taking offense to it, we said, okay, this is South Park Mall. You guys are, a luxury mall. Maybe y'all looking for something a little bit more, high class or whatever. So we said, okay, let's think about it. Because at first we could have took offense to it because we are in other locations that's owned by Simon Property, and we are in Greece. And so when they said that, we was like, you know, what you mean change our name? And we started thinking about, okay, we're gonna go into South Park. Let's give them some history. Let's give them, you know, let's give them the Black Barbershop on a real classy level, like our ancestors did. And so we thought about Knights of the Razor. So that's how we came up with Knights of the Razor for South Park Mall.
Man, and it's awesome because you know, all the shops are nice, but man, when I go into South Park, man, and even my wife will say, man, they got marble shampoo bowls, man. She's like, what is going on? It's just it's a classy, elegant place to go get your haircut. And I mean, you know, and you lay back in a recliner, man. You got your feet up, getting your shave, and all this type of stuff. The treatment there is so tremendous, and the atmosphere, in terms of that location and what you guys have done with it, is actually, you know, it's outstanding. I haven't been to the new location, Concord Mills. I got 2 out there now because you're expanding. So what I want you to unpack for us, since we're talking about that, is how did you expand in the middle of a pandemic, right? I mean, and you're in an industry that was really shut down. I mean, when this whole thing came out and COVID, they shut the whole industry down. But yet in the midst of a shutdown, you guys are expanded. So talk to us about that.
Well, one thing, people still want to look good, so we're vain by nature. So vanity has his perks for us, because people still. The other thing was that commercial real estate is struggling right now. So there's some great deals out there for you to negotiate. So we're gonna take, even though you know, some people are nervous about expanding during this time, we're confident that as the market begins to open up, we'll be in position. So every opportunity that opens up, and once we negotiate something that feels good for us, we go for it, man. I mean, at the end of the day, entrepreneurs are risk takers, and so we're with the culture.
That's good, man.
Well,
that's good.
Real good. And the other thing I want you to hit on, because I'm there, just being a man of faith, right? And so faith plays a part in that whole process as well. So, and I just see you guys just full of faith and confidence, just moving forward. And so that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, you know, it's back to, it's back to some of that history of where we come from as a people, and our faith is everything, you know. So, you know, we still going off the vision that we wrote years ago, you know, write the vision, make it plain.
Come on.
We still, you know, by faith, not by sight. We're standing on those things, man. It's like, if you can't test God, then, I mean, you know, I don't know what we're here for. I want to see God work. So, you know, we stay prayed up. I'm not saying that we don't have some losses, but in our losses we learn a lot, and we move on, you know. So like anyone, we've lost money, we've lost friends, I lost family. In business you're gonna lose a lot, but you know, we're keeping our eyes on the vision, on the prize, and we just keep moving forward. I mean, you know, we take our money, we reinvest, and you win some, you lose some, but the greater the reward.
That's right. You know, for our viewers, you know, you heard Damian talking about really, you know, vision and, you know, faith and fear can't operate at the same time. I want our viewers just type in the chat box, you know, when fear comes up, how do you move through fear? You know, because I mean, as Tony was asking Damian, you know, right, COVID-19, you know, everybody shut down, and, you know, the barber shop, you know, this is a service, you know, industry, the malls were closed. You know, how do you do it? So just type in the chat box, because let me say this, you know, Damian, you know, is a dear friend, right? I mean, straight up, you know, and you know, you can tell there's just a nice chemistry. But I want y'all to see this. Can y'all see this? Let me see. Let's see. Can y'all see that? That is South Africa. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because Damien, Jermaine, Charlie, you know, they say, hey, man, we got a winning model. And I used to live in South Africa, and Damien's like, yo, Marlon, I'm going to South Africa. It's like, yo, let me connect you with some people over there. And so they're already looking at international. So you talk about, you know, faith and fear. I wanted to bring that up because, man, that's global. And I think, you know, ask and you shall receive, seek and you shall find, knock and the door shall be open. And I think many of us, we have not because we ask not. So Damien, you know, talk to us about, you know, like, you know, I love the word audacity. You know, ever since I heard President Obama talk about, you have the audacity to talk about, yo, we're going to bring our barber school, our barber shops, you know, international. Talk to us about that vision, man.
Man, you talking that map right there we got. Yeah. we put a map. We put a map in our office some years ago and say, yo, why not try the world? There's hair all over the world. Why not try to everywhere?
I love it, man.
Yeah, we ain't stuck on none of it. Wherever hair is, that's where we want to be at. So,
That's it.
I mean, we just try to dream so big, man, that even if we should fall short, we're gonna be right there amongst the greats. We'll be right there amongst the stars. And again, man, knowing your history, knowing what our ancestors were able to do with a little bit of nothing. So we got all this opportunity. We have all this knowledge. We have all this information, and we're just stepping out there, man. We refuse. I refuse to go in the grave other than empty. I want to be empty. I want it. Once you put this shell in there, I want it all the way empty.
Yeah.
So how we
man, that's what's up.
That's how we do it, man. We just stay in that position and we try to surround ourselves with people who have that mindset, who have that fearlessness and that focus. And if it's just 2 or 3 of us, then so be it. That we feel like 3 together is better than 300 apart. So we'll figure it out.
Wow.
Yeah, but
wow.
we so everywhere I go, I don't care if I go to Africa or I go to South America, there's hair there. So I look at it as an opportunity.
There you go. That's right.
So talk to us about the team. I mean, we got Jermaine, we got Charlie, but talk to us about how you assemble your team, because obviously you got to have great people, you know, legal. We know from a accounting bookkeeping standpoint who you got, you know. And so talk to us about the team and how you keep the cohesiveness together.
Right. So everyone, man, so the initial core is myself, my brother, and Charlie. And so I'm more of the person who does all the politicking and getting in front of, you know, opportunities, whether, you know, investors, the banks. I do most of the negotiating when it comes to expansion opportunities and things like that. My brother handles the school. He is the one who focuses on the training and the nurturing and developing of the barbers from the school to the shops. Charlie is what we call the protector of the brand. He's the one that making sure that everything that we've kind of, you know, been preaching is being carried out throughout the, you know, from the barbers to the front desk, to everyone. That, I mean, making sure that the clients are having a good experience. And then, of course, then you have people like, you know, we have a great accountant. I think she's on here, Mary Nicole Douglas. You know, she looks at our numbers. When she came in, I think it's been about 5 or 6 years, 5 or 6 years now. You know, she really helped us, you know, organize our numbers so that we could get in front of investors and we could get in front of banks and make sure that our numbers, you know, made sense, not to just us, but to that financial institution or those investors. Of course, you know, you got lawyers. So it's a whole gamut of people that you need to be a part of. Excuse me.
That's good stuff.
We're constantly building and inviting new minds to challenge us, to make us better. You know, having more smarter people than yourself in the room, not being intimidated, and just knowing your lane. What you do best is what you do best. you know, you get somebody else in to
Right.
do something, and don't be intimidated by it.
Absolutely.
Wow, that's powerful,
Absolutely.
man. That's powerful. You know, I see in the chat box, you know, we got you know, Earl said, focus on the real facts and keep moving. You know, sometimes our mind will play tricks on us, right? And then you got Faye said, do not fear failure, but be terrified of regret. Woo, what you say?
Ooh,
and then I love
what,
yeah, I love what D. Williams says. I like that. When I'm gone, I want to be all the way empty. Give all that you have while you are here, right? And that's powerful, man.
On the court. Leave it all on the court. I remember, Marlon, we were in a meeting the other day. Remember, and the guy said, hey, listen, the way I see it, he says, when I'm dead and gone, I got enough time to do nothing. But as long as I'm living, I'm going to stay productive and I'm going to stay continuing. And I think that's so important, especially when you love what you do. And
Right.
That's the one thing that I think comes through really clear, whether you're talking to Charlie or whether you're talking to Jermaine or Damien or the other barbers. I mean, they're all great. I don't want to name anybody because they're all great. You're all great, no grease. But, and then you got other owners. I mean, you got new owners that are out there. You got David, you got Daquan, right? And yeah, Tim, I never met Tim, but you got great ownership in the franchise. And I think what I hear you saying in terms of protecting the brand, and that's so important.
That's good, man. And, you know, I think the beautiful thing is that, you know, doing something that's going to outlive you. And so, you know, Damien, talk to us, man, because like I said earlier with the barber school, you know, and again, I saw proof in the pudding when Tony and I went down to Atlanta and we stopped off and, you know, the No Grease in Atlanta. My brother from Charlotte has relocated to Atlanta and, you know, just doing this thing and, you know, came up in your barber school. So that must make you feel good. I mean, can you talk to us about some of the stories? I mean, Tim was my barber, you know, and then he's now got 2 of his own shops down in, you know, South Carolina. How does that make you feel, man?
It's again, it's part of the service side, but then it's about, you said something similar, you know, legacy. Only way legacy outlives you is how many people can you affect? How many people, how many lives can you really affect? And so identifying and teaming up with other people, man, that have adopted your dream as their dream. Because it's no longer me and my brother's, you know, dream. It's other people's dream now. They've adopted it and they're running with it. And we're just sitting back amazed at how some of these franchise owners have just adopted what started off with me and my brother. And now, you know, we have, you know, 4 other franchise owners. You know, we got 10 locations, and these people, I mean, some of these franchise owners, man, they are geniuses. I'm just sitting back watching them take my baby and they're running with it. And I'm like, at first it was scary. Now I'm like, yo, man, hey, let's have some more babies so y'all can run with the rest. You know?
Well, you know, it's interesting because, as you know, I got a chance to meet and sit down with a lot of the guys and ladies and talk to them and you know, about hearing their passion, their vision, and that is deeply rooted. There's so many that says my vision, my goal is to be a franchise owner.
Yes.
You know, and I think there's something about that, just knowing that there's a pathway to ownership. There's a pathway to them owning a piece of the dream and the vision. And I think that's so important for those who want it. It's available. And so, you know, we're saying what? No Grease needs to be in every mall in every city, right? So, we got a name. We didn't work in Atlanta. That was Sugar Loaf Mall. Is that what it is?
It's down there in Lawrenceville. We'll be right in the heart of Atlanta real soon.
Look at that, brother. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. You know, so Damien, talk to me, man. You know, let's go personal, right? Because you know, a lot of our viewers, you know, they're seeing you, they're hearing you. Now let's talk about, you know, what do you do, man? What do you do on a daily basis to, like, you know, be your optimal best, right? Because I want our viewers to understand success. You can model success, And Tony and I, I do leadership. Tony's doing, the real money cover, the service of, being a blessing to folks. But talk to us now about, what's your daily ritual or routine? Because I want our viewers to understand, it just didn't happen overnight, right? But what are you doing? What are some of your key winning rituals, man, that you do on a daily basis?
Hey, so I mean, some of the things that are, people don't even, you can study all the greats and stuff like that, but it's like very basic human things, like, for those of us who have a faith base, prayer, meditation, and this is every day. I mean, before things get bad, we usually start praying when stuff go bad, but I mean, really just being in those quiet places and envisioning and just quieting yourself, just quiet yourself and just really, try to hear from a greater source, whatever your belief is, but hear from a greater source. And then I think the physical body, how you eat, how you, stay in shape and stuff like that. Like I try to work out every day. I try to do some type of workout every day. That gives some of that, that energy that you need off you, get some of that off you. So, work out, eat right. And I have fun. I still have fun. I'm still having fun. Like I surround myself with some laughter, surround myself with some creative people, and I join kids, my family, my wife. I still enjoy people. And then the time you're doing all that, for me, because I'm doing what I love, it's easy to start staying in that creative space because, you have all this positive, energy around you. You're really operating on this high frequency. And it's just some of the basic things. I mean, it's, I think because we get so distracted and we're not realizing that it's really some of the basic things, man. So, I mean, I try to read as much as I possibly can.
Yes.
New information, I watch guys like y'all all the time. I'm surrounding myself with people and watching what y'all doing, and staying motivated. So, those are the things, man. I'm always trying to get in, circles where I can learn. I try to try to keep somebody like 15 years older than me around.
That's
me.
right.
So I can look into the crystal ball of life because they got some time over me. So it's I'm getting a little older, so I'm trying to do things wiser. I started off, when we started cutting hair, I was, officially when I was licensed, I was 18. I'm 48 now. So, that's 30 years in this thing. So, pace yourself and but still staying at your pace. And you said something earlier too about, coming in first place or third place. And that is true. But when you competing with yourself, man, you can always stay in first.
Yes,
wow,
yes.
that's good.
Like
That's good. And you said something there, and I've seen this on social media. I've seen you really giving homage to some older gentlemen. I can't remember exactly who it was, but I've been seeing you on social media. I see some creative things that you guys are doing in terms of little mini movies and all those kind of things. And it seems like you're enjoying your family and those type of things. But it really struck me the day I saw that you guys were really paying some homage to an older gentleman, and you talked about mentorship. And so tell me, what does that look like for you in terms of just not having a mentor, but you're at the point now where you're mentoring others. And so it comes full circle.
Yeah. Having a mentor, man, is, I can't tell you how priceless a mentor is. And I have quite a few of them. And so one of the mentors that you might be talking about, his name is James McKnight. He's in his 80s. And I met him maybe 20 years ago. And he just took us under his wing and sharing some wisdom. We actually ended up doing business with him as a consultant. And the value that a mentor brings to your life, man, not only from business, but just as a personal as a personal mentor, man, it gives you such a roadmap to how to, make certain decisions and take certain routes to get to where you're going. Because believe it or not, someone has probably already been down that road that you're going down. And so, to it's just a priceless thing. And so now that we're becoming mentors, I know what that means. I know how valuable that is to someone. And so I want to try to position myself to make sure that I'm always going to have someone 15, 20, maybe even 30 years younger than me, so that they keep me honest. They keep me honest, and I can keep them honest.
Right.
That's right.
Damian, man, we're talking about, Barbershop, Black History, right? And I mentioned some Netflix documentaries, and I saw you shaking your head, man. And, for me, I was just like, whoa, man, what we've gone through, people of color. I mean, it's, and I remember Naeem Akbar said this once before, a long time ago. He said, that all of us crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, straight up. I mean, the emotional, the spiritual. I mean, man, and and so I just want to encourage all of our viewers to educate yourself. That's one thing I'm hearing you say, Damian. But I want you to talk about, it looks like about 13th and crack and the amend. I mean, I was like, yo.
Hey,
I mean,
my family called me and my brother, we're the documentary kings. That's all. we watch documentaries all day. That one that you just said with Will Smith, the men.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Again, man, once you know history, like when I walk in the room, whether it be black or white, and you have that information, oh man, you can operate at a different level. And because you can start things repeat themselves, because a lot of these people, it's hard to be creative. It's easy to mimic, like racism and all that stuff, man. They just mimicking their forefathers, and some of us we're responding to it. But when you can see what's happening, now you can create, because you already know what that's about.
Sure.
So learning and educating yourself, it prepares you. It allows you to move in such a way that they never seen before, because a lot of this stuff that we're seeing is been done. It's been done over and over again. And why would we exist if we came here to do exactly what's been done? That doesn't make
right. We don't. God doesn't need us for that. And it's so interesting. You said that I was thinking about this week, because the big news story was Tiger Woods and being in a car accident, and then as you learn about that, is that he won the Masters, right, in 1997. That golf club, the Masters at Augusta, did not even allow black members until 1990 before they let African American members. And it's either, I think it might be like 10 or 2010 that they allowed women to be members. And so there's so much history out there. And what I love about what you said is we got to know our history, because if you don't know your history, you're bound to repeat it and you fall into those same traps. And so that's what's so good about our viewers and everyone who's watching. And you see, we got people from all over the world watching, is to see a live example right in front of us of not letting. And I think one of the most impactful things that you said tonight is the fact that you could have put on your pride and say, listen, we're not changing our name. We're not going to do it. But you would have missed the blessing of being there had you been so strict to say it's going to be our way or no way. And so I think that says a lot about you guys, the owners, not just you, because I know behind the three of you are some 4 other great owners. Am I right? There's 4 other great owners, and a whole lot of barbers, a whole lot of instructors. The receptionists are excellent. Man, I never went to a barbershop that had a receptionist before, man, until I got the no grease. The receptionist meets you at the desk, right? And so those are the types of things that make a difference in your business model. and I know we talked about that last time you were in the show, is that when God gives you a vision, sometimes you're going to lose people because everyone wants to do the status quo. Everyone wants to do it the way it always has been done. And I think when you challenge the status quo is when you can really go to the next level. So kudos again, man.
Thank you, brother.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no doubt. And man, you know, I mean, we talking about, you know, expansion. I mean, I'm just saying, if you're looking for another, you know, owner, okay, you know what I'm saying? Okay, you know, can we get down? All right. I'm just saying, all right.
Hero. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Come on now. All right, Mary Nicole, put in a good word for me. Okay, Mary Nicole. Okay, put in a good word. All right. I gotta work it any way I can. Come on, Damien. You know, I was out of town when you were looking for some investors. That was like 10 years ago. Give me another shot. Give me another shot, man.
We coming to DC.
You gotta get the no grease experience, man. You gotta get the no grease experience. That's what it's all about. Once you've got the no grease experience, you're good to go. I know personally. Listen,
that's
right. I got my standing appointment, man. They got me hooked. So listen,
that's right.
What I want to do is tell the people who are listening how to find a no grease shop, where you're located. Tell us where we can do that.
The best thing is to go to our website, nogrease.com. It's going to have all our locations. It's going to have our prices and services. You know, you can go online and order products. You can go online and make appointments. So that's going to be the first place, www.nogrease.com. You know, No Grease is all our social media tags. So nogrease.com. That's the best place.
And you know what I love about the website is, I mean, you can book your appointments, right? Yep. You can prepay, you know, and you can select what barber you want. I mean, man, you really, you know, let's talk about that, Damien, as far as, you know, just the innovation, technology. You know, I know, you know, back in the day, man, you know, you and I were talking about how, you know, like No Grease could, you know, create like a training system, you know, to help other barbers, right, with the business side and whatnot. So talk to us about, you know, technology and innovation, man.
So we had a great encounter with a young man, young black brother who started a tech company called Squire. Actually built a online, you know, POS system specifically for barbers, and so we helped him a few years ago. And that changed our whole customer experience with having people able to go online and book their appointments, being able to go to any location and identify, you know, what barber they wanted to go to. And so technology was a huge come up for us because that's one of the areas in the barber industry, in the hair care industry, that we were suffering. And so when those guys came up with that piece, man, we jumped right on board. We're trying to build our business at some point that we get very, very heavy on the tech side. So, you know, before you know it, No Grease might be a tech company before it's all over with.
Wow, look at that, man.
Wow. And you know, the other thing too is the COVID protocol. I mean, before you go to your appointment, I mean, you're getting reminded, hey, listen, you got to answer this questionnaire. You got to do all those things. And I think that's so important, especially as, you know, we're going through what we're going through in terms of COVID and the pandemic and all that stuff. So, wow, man. Marlon, man, we hit another good one, brother.
Yeah. No doubt, man. Damien really brought it, man. I really appreciate you, brother. You know that. You know, we may not talk all the time, but you know, man, it's almost like when you're connected with somebody, you may only see them once a month, once a year, right? But it's like you just pick up, man, friendship, relationship, a genuine love, you know, and that's, you know, that's what it's all about. So, man, I just want to say thank you, you know, and I know I got to start wearing bow ties to maybe get in, you know, Mary Nicole says she's going to put a good word in for me. You know what I'm saying? You know, but I tell you, man, I really appreciate the standard of excellence that you know, are modeling, you know, for these young brothers and sisters who are, you know, especially the ones that come through the school, man, and you know, and just exposing them, you know, and also you help them develop not just, you know, as a barber, but, you know, relationship, their legacy wealth, I mean, you're pouring into the man, so it's well-rounded.
Absolutely.
And I think that's one of the things I would just want to commend. And it's not just a haircut. You know what I'm saying? It's an experience. It's an experience. And I think that's what, I mean, look at that, and that is off the chart.
Tone.
I'm getting my experience at the barbershop. Come on, somebody.
My brother,
but you're right. It is an experience. It is an experience. And, just to go there and experience that. And, and there's a lot of great barbers around. But, it's just like, again, I just keep having that feeling of cheers, man. When you walk in, the theme song used to be, you want to go someplace where everybody knows your name. And they always say the same. And that's how I feel when I walk into No Grease. And, of course, many of them are customers of ours. But, it's the same love from the ones that are customers and the ones that are not. Everyone just treats you well. And I think that's part of the reason why they're so successful. So, man, just keep doing what you're doing, bro. And we're watching you all the way, man. We're gonna have our franchises. We got to get there, brother.
Part of the success, man, is teaming up with great people, man, and not only serving clients but supporting the clients too, man. So we believe in, if our clients spend money with us, we should spend money with them. It's a circulation. It's a community, and that's how you build. That's how you really build community. That's how you build culture. And so we try to make it an even exchange, not just from the service part, but if our clients are doing anything, we want to support them.
Wow, and that's true, man. You walk the talk, man. And you and Jermaine being the documentary, gurus. I know you watched, Madam C.J. Walker. That was another one that was, man, what you say. And so, and Damien, what else? What are some of your closing comments for now? We're gonna have you back, brother. We got to get Jermaine too. Come on, somebody. But any closing insights, information, anything you want to share with our viewers?
Because it's Black History Month, man, I want to close that, man. We come from some rich history. We got our ancestors, man, laid it down for us, man. We can some stuff, man. It's nothing that we can't do. It's nothing that we haven't done. It's just we got to believe that, man. And for all my people of faith, man, you believe. Hey, you got some people. I mean, you got some real life people that done it. We may have never met Jesus in person, but it's some Black Moseses around here, man, that's been doing their thing. And if you pull on their garment, we can make some stuff happen, man. So I would like to leave us, man, that we've already done it. We could do it and do it more. We could do a lot more.
That's good, man. Thank you. Tony, what you got, man? Brother? Close us out, man.
Man, this is what I'm thinking, man. This is I see it as just the beginning. And, and even the short time that, time goes by fast, man. It's already been, I don't know, 2-3 years since I met the folks at No Grease and started getting my hair cut there and everything. And so, but it's just the beginning for all of us. So for everybody who's out there, who's listening, and you have a dream, God has given you a dream, God has given you a vision. Tonight, I'm going to be sitting, pounding and working on my business plan. If God has given you a dream, a vision, run with it. Run with it. Don't give up. Don't give up. And that's what I'm getting tonight. And you look at where they started and where they are now, 10 locations, across state lines, and they're just starting. They're just hitting their stride. And you too can be just hitting your stride. So whether you're watching and you have started your business, or whether you are dreaming of a business, or maybe you're training for your business, I tell you right now, buy the URL. Listen, I will buy a URL that's for the future. Buy the URL that's your dream, own it today, and then just start working for it. Start working for it. And that's my message today, man. It's just go for it, live life, man. be happy, and let God lead you.
All right, all right. Thank you, man. Well, you've heard it tonight, huh? From Damien.
Yeah.
He pointed at the map. You know, that brother went over to the map. He was like, yo. And then he pointed up. I saw him point to Europe too. Come on, somebody. So, you know, what did he say? If you got hair, are a client. Okay. That's what I'm saying. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And so, you know, let's really take it to the next level. And so, you know, on behalf of Tony Jackson, Chris Jackson, and Marlon, soon to be No Grease. Okay. I'm just saying, look at that. I mean, that is what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? That is my man. You know, Dame was like, yo, Marlon, this is appropriate for you. You know, they call me the Black No Grease Superman. Okay. So I'm just saying, y'all. You know, I like to have fun. And the last thing I'm going to say, you know, Damien, man, one thing you said, you know, look at that smile. Come on, somebody. One thing he said that I really love is that, you know, he loves what he does, right? Mm-hmm. And you see, when you are doing what you're born to do. I mean, look, I just did a 4-hour program earlier today, and I'm still flowing. Why? Because I'm in my flow. Right? You know, I got a couple of text messages. You know, some people said, Marlon, you're one of the most positive in my flow. So I'm only saying that, what is your flow? What comes, you know, Dr. Dennis Kimbrough, that's my man. I want to give a shout out. He said to me, he said, Marlon, most people work for 40, 50, 60, 70 hours a week to play on the weekend. That's why we have this thing called TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. He said, you know, Marlon, what is your play? What would you do for free? What comes easy for you? Because if you can turn your play into your work, theoretically, you'll never work a day in your life because your play is your work. And so that's what Damien and Jermaine and Charlie and the whole No Grease family, that's what they're doing. They're in their flow. So what is your flow? And so with that being said, we'll see you next Thursday, 8 o'clock, same bat channel, same bat time, right? And remember this. A vision without action is just a dream. A lot of act out of vision is merely a passing of time. But a vision, come on, somebody, with action can change the world. Stay blessed.